So I was asked if you could do a larger cup with the Elizabeth Craft design paper. This is a 35 ounce Skinny Plus tumbler. I bought a cut sheet or a template off of Etsy in order to do this. Basically, I lined up my two pieces. You can see I have electrical tape around. These are two separate pieces. I cut the image without the electrical tape on. I laid them both down on my Cricut. I did not apply the electrical tape around until I pieced the two together. Once I had both pieces cut at the same time, I placed this electrical tape down to hold them in place. It's also on the backing. It's also on the backing of the cup. So I did act like the two pieces were one big design when I cut it. I wrapped it around. I did electrical tape at the top and bottom to make sure that my lines were still going to be good. Now I'm going to wrap it. We're going to pull the electrical tape off and we're going to see if you can use two sheets to do one cup. One big cup, I should say. I did try to make my own, just resize like a standard 20 ounce one, because I don't usually do these designs that big, and that was a total fail. Did not work at all. I'm just trying to pull up the bottom portion now of the second sheet. And you probably could lay them in two separate pieces if you don't want to try and lay them as one big one. But I am trying to do the least amount of messing around. So I have the bottom part pulled up. And I'm going to do just like I've done on previous tumblers. I am trying this one out on just a solid base, because if it doesn't work, then I can pull off the adhesive better and try it again. To roll this forward and not all my backing stayed. Mine still seem to be good. Well, that was stressful. So, like I said, I usually pull up more for the backing when I do it, but because I'm working with 2 pieces, I was a little nervous. Okay, so the electrical tape is holding the second piece. I'm going to try and show you guys without messing this up. So it's 2 pieces of the Elizabeth craft paper. Now I'm going to pull, and I am just going to wrap the cup. Getting towards the end, so I'm going to pull my starter strip like I normally would. My electrical tape, my starter strip. And you guys, if you want to take like an X-Acto and clean off your little starter piece, you can. Okay. Just getting out a couple little air bubbles that I noticed. I didn't do a test cut on this, and I probably should have, because the file that I bought this from, I mean, all of this is fine up at the top. I knew there was going to be a little bit more air gap. So I just pulled off my electrical tape that wrapped the 2 around, and I'm just going to show you guys. So let's get down a piece. So this is my first full sheet, and here's my second sheet where this line is. Here's the seam. Got some bubbles I'll have to work out, but you can see everything is lined up pretty good. So I'm just going to work on some of these bubbles, getting them out. And because I did not paint it white, I'm going to stick with a little bit darker color palette. As you guys know, I would typically go through and label what color I was putting where, but I wasn't quite sure if it would even wrap, so I usually do that after I wrap the cup anyways. So I'm going to move my electrical tape to a different part over here and get it out of the way. The rest of my air bubbles out. Got a good one up top up here, but she'll buff. So could have gone a lot worse. I'm kind of pleased with it actually. So again, this is a 35 ounce 2 sheets of Elizabeth craft paper were used. And I have no idea what color or pattern I'm even going to do. So if I just pull up one piece. I had another question. People were asking, a couple of folks were at least asking if you needed to seal your colors in between. I'm going to show you that you don't. So I just pulled off one piece. I'm going to tap my glitter on. I'm going to burnish it in. Like so. The excess glitter off. So that's the first spot. And then I'm just gonna come in and I'm going to do another color for you guys so you can see. Again, I'm going with a little bit darker colors because I did not prep my base white, so I know that lighter colors aren't going to pop the same. Burnishing. These are pretty fine glitters I'm using. That's my next spot. And now I'm going to grab my final piece off. I say final because I'm only going to show you the 3 colors I selected. Doing a green. We'll see. So normally what I would do is I'd go through and do all my brown, all my rose gold, if that's what you want to call it, and then I would go back and do all my green. I'd finish one full color. So there are 3 colors. Bang, bang, bang. On a big 35-ounce. Tumbler. Make sure you do your test cut. That way maybe you won't have some of the bubbles like I do up top here. Again, I tried to keep everything as lined up as possible. You can see, let's see, which way should I tilt you? Right there maybe? So they were lined up on my Cricut, on my mat, and I kept them lined up and used the tape to hold them down. So those lines, when I do that area, should be pretty decent. I think I will go ahead and do I don't know what colors I want to do. I don't know if I want to stick with the same pattern, if I want to change it up at all. I'm going to go ahead and try and do this area that's split so you guys can see. And for ease, I'm just going to stick with the same exact color. Just in case. So I just pulled off that. That's a full piece. I'm going to do my brown. For my next color, I have piece, and I also am going to pull up the bottom where the cut seam, where the two pieces came together. There you are. Seam is across here. If I go to the back, it would be kind of the same thing. I'm going to have a 4-part seam, but I don't know what color I'm going to be doing that one, so I'm just going to go down one where my I have to take off two. Oops, I have to take off 2 pieces because my seam is right there. Right? Yeah, brown. There. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to pull off my rose gold. And I'm going to pull off my green. I hope this was helpful. I hoped that if you are going to be doing the bigger template tumblers, that it helps ease your mind a little bit. That way you're not cutting the craft paper, the double-sided adhesive craft paper, and then it's not working for you. Again, lined it up the same way I line up the other ones. I do have a lot more bubbles in this one than I normally do, but I'll take it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'd be glad to answer anything you got. Thanks for watching, you guys.